wires, or glass having to hold them up. However, some CGI is known to look fake because of the unnatural smoothness of animation and sometimes the unrealistic lighting and shadows. Many animators have tried to make their animation more realistic by using the movement of actors as a framework for the CGI digital characters, such as in the film Polar Express, the first film done entirely using this technique known as motion capture. However, motion capture is not considered to be real animation by most animators, as it's simply a copy of live action through digital software. Other animators have tried to copy other styles of animation with CGI, such as in Flushed Away, in which the animators attempt to copy the animation patterns of claymation. Other types of computer animators have copied hand-drawn animation looks and textures successfully, giving the animation a warm, natural feel. One thing that is recognized by any professional animator is the 12 principles of animation. Without these principles, an animation may look stiff or dead. Squash and stretch is one of the most commonly heard principles of animation, and is considered the most important. Squash and stretch is when a character or an object squashes or stretches due to the position, speed, or direction it is, has, or will move to. Anticipation comes from the idea that a viewer will understand what a character is doing much more easily if they expect it ahead of time. For example, when a character is getting ready to run, it will change its position to look like it's about to run. Overlapping action is considered to be fairly complicated. The principle comes from the fact that things do not come to a stop all at once. First there's one part and then another. Walt Disney. An example of overlapping action in animation is when a character is running and stops. Their hair may follow through and stop a second later. Acceleration and deceleration, also known as slow in and slow out. A good example of acceleration and deceleration is a bouncing ball. When a ball drops, it starts falling slowly, but as it falls it gains speed, and by the time it reaches the bottom, it is going much faster than before. When the ball bounces back up, it starts out fast, but as it gets higher, it slows down more, until it stops and starts the process from the beginning again. The change in speed that the objects may have is known as acceleration and deceleration. Almost every natural thing moves in arcs. Arcs are caused by two main things: joints, such as in an arm or leg, and gravity. These two things cause objects that have non-linear movement, so unless they are animating a machine or object that moves in an unnatural way, most animators animate using arcs. Timing. Timing is a principle used not only in animation, but in live-action film as well. Timing is important to telling a story or showing what the character may be thinking, such as how slowly a man gets off his couch, or how quickly he walks or responds to a question. Secondary actions are little things the character may do that may support the main action, such as a confused man scratching his head or looking around. Sometimes very small things, such as blinking, may be considered secondary actions. Exaggeration refers to exaggerating a character, actions, or expressions. Exaggeration makes the character's actions a little clearer to the audience. Staging is extremely complex, and like timing, is used in live-action film, too. Basically, the characters should be designed and posed so that it is clear to the audience what is going on, as it can possibly get. You can find these principles used most commonly in older animations or rubber hose animation, like Bugs Bunny or almost any of the older Disney cartoons, and in some newer animations such as Lilo and Stitch movies. But there are more modern animators who use these principles less and less. There is also a newer style of animation known as minimalist animation, which is used in many more modern cartoon series such as The Simpsons or Family Guy. Minimalist animation uses only the necessary elements of animation to tell a story. Though this is easier to animate, it is not usually considered to be high-quality animation. Other kinds of animation that doesn't always include the 12 principles of animation include Flash-style animation, which is animation made with a computer program called Flash, which often has a specific look. Another one is anime, which is a style that has developed in Japan and usually has very little actual animation. The few anime filmmakers make films with outstanding animation, such as Miyazaki's Spirited Away. Though anime animation takes a more realistic approach, rather than using all the animation principles, some consider this a chosen style instead of a lack of knowledge about the 12 principles. Animation has come a long way from silent black and white drawings to CGI films, and it may go further yet. And as our technology gets more and more advanced, animators should learn to use it to explore new ideas with the wonderful art form of animation.